Let's bring on Brian Dutcher, Aztecs men's basketball coach, after a fabulous basketball season. Coach, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's hard to watch basketball and know you're not playing anymore, but that's where it is.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Are you able to watch the games after you lost?
Yeah, I turned them on. I wanted to see how Houston did against Michigan. They played wonderfully, but obviously they missed 2 free throws with the game on the line, and Michigan hit a deep 3, and that's Heartbreak City. That's the way it is this time of the year, and you look at everybody's bracket has to be busted. There's no way all these picks, people had them in their brackets.
Coach, we talked a little bit about this before you came on the show. Rob Gray and the kind of personality that he had, we ended up following him through until they ended up losing. Now, were you cheering for him a little bit as a competitor competing against him? Was he able to win your respect by the way he competed against your men?
He definitely had my respect. I don't know if I was cheering for him.
Right.
I just like watching good basketball. Sometimes, you get too invested in cheering for one team over another, and I just like watching the coaches work and seeing how they're handling situations and maybe glean something for down the road for the Aztecs.
Dutch, it was a tremendous game on Thursday. You were one shot away. Kel had a good look for the play that was drawn up, albeit he was spinning, which is always going to be a difficult time to make a shot, turning around and having to get it off like he did. When you went back and watched the film, just give us some of your thoughts of the game that played out against Houston.
We didn't play a good first half, and it cost us. We still fought back, but 10 first-half turnovers were way too many, led to easy baskets, fast break baskets, and we missed too many free throws. So too many mistakes, too many lost opportunities, and that's why we're at home. With that being said, I love the fight in my team all year. I mean, we fought our way back. Devin Watson made huge threes to tie the game twice, and then it came down to the final possession, and Rob Gray made a driving layup that obviously I thought we could have done a better job at. That's just coaching. But to get the shot we did with 1.1 second on the clock or whatever it was to throw the ball length of the floor and get a clean look at the basket, I thought we did a great job on the last play. Unfortunately, it didn't go in. And you see these shots are going in. Loyola's hit 2 buzzer beaters to advance. You look at Michigan hitting the buzzer beater against Houston. And it's one shot this time of year, and you're either going home or you're advancing.
Coach, teach me a little bit. Talk me through that defensive possession before. We had a caller call in last week who said, I wish they would have fouled, and then we asked about a timeout to Mark Ziegler on Friday. What was your thought going into that last defensive possession?
Well, obviously, we scored a 3, and so unless I could have got a timeout like instantly before they got it off, that would have been our opportunity. They chose not to play with a timeout. So they had the ball in their hands. I couldn't take one at that time. And the only thing in hindsight, Justin was trying to get their attention, to maybe run at him, to double him, to take the ball out of his hands, let someone else beat us. With that being said, he drove to the basket, and we could have offered more resistance at the rim. It's kind of the thing that, bit us earlier in the year, not being able to offer enough resistance at the rim, and we didn't do it, and he got underneath us and got a layup. And you don't want to give a layup at that time. You want to make them play through contact, the rest don't want to call anything with the game on the line, and we gave them way too good a look at the end. And in hindsight, I wish we'd have offered a little more resistance or ran at them. But that's the perfect vision, hindsight.
That's right.
Brian Dutcher with us on Extra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego. Dutch, one of the things that I think we're so drawn to with the tournament is the emotions that are involved on both sides. I mean, if you watch that Michigan-Houston game, you saw them go wild. You saw utter despair from University of Houston, especially because there are seniors that are realizing like that moment that it's all over, especially if they're not going to be playing afterwards. How difficult – go ahead.
You see it in every game. You look at Virginia, the number 1 team in the country, losing to a 16 seed. It was shock. They were in shock. And you look at North Carolina, last year's defending champ, number 2 seed, going down. You look at Nevada from our own conference, coming from 22 down in the second half against the 2 seed Cincinnati and pulling it out. It's just shock and awe every game. And that's the beauty of the tournament. That's the beauty of the NCAA. It's not a best of 7 or a best of 5. It's one shot. And you have to put it on the line that one game. And that's the beauty of this whole thing.
Is addressing your team after a loss like that to Houston, especially with seniors like Trey Kell, Malik Pope, is that one of the most difficult parts of your job?
Absolutely. It's disappointing because you feel as if you have good basketball in you and you don't get to play it anymore. It's not like you said, you're playing a best of 7. Hey, it's game 1. We got good basketball. We're going to come back and win this series. It's one game. And so every single mistake is magnified because you have that one shot at it. And even though you're playing great basketball, like a lot of these teams in this tournament, you're going home and you're like, what happened? We have better basketball still in us. And so that's always the frustrating thing, saying goodbye to your seniors for the last time, their last time to put the Aztec uniform on.
Brian Dutcher on Extra 1360 and FM 103.3. And I guess post-game, there's the kind of two messages that may have to come out because you got a young squad still that's going to move forward and you may have a teachable moment there. But then I guess what was the conversation like with Malik Pope, Trey Kell, and Cam Rooks?
Just telling them how much I loved them and valued them and how much they meant to our program over the years and that they hung banners. Obviously, Trey and Malik hung 3 conference championship banners over their time here. So tremendous contributions to Aztec basketball, and they just played the game magnificently. They played for their teammates, their brothers in this university, and how proud I was of them.
And then overall, what was the message in the locker room?
It's more honor in the seniors. There's other time to talk about, hey, this is a lesson for us moving forward. I think that's a discussion to have later. I think it's a time to honor your seniors. Obviously, November's a long time away, and when we get the new group together, we can start discussing lessons learned at that time moving forward. But I think after the final game, it's time to honor your seniors, honor their contributions, and how important they were to the program.
Dutch, do you think in some odd way you helped Nevada knock off Cincinnati being down 22 points? I know Eric Musselman did mention that San Diego State game where you were up by 30 at halftime. Do you think in a way you I don't know if helps the way you want to phrase it, but perhaps prepared them to be better in the second half when down by a lot?
I don't know. They've had 2 magnificent comebacks, both against Texas and then yesterday against Cincinnati, and they've got a resolve about them, and even when we were ahead, I was milking the clock, and at times I put my own team in distress because I was running too much time. So they're used to they've got great character on that team, and it just shows you how good we were to beat that team twice this year, that we felt like we had good basketball in us still. But they fought back in 2 games. They had magic moments, and that's why they're still playing. And now they're playing Loyola Chicago, who in a million years they wouldn't think they'd be playing in the Sweet 16. So 2 Cinderellas meeting in the Sweet 16, and that's college basketball.
Coach, individually, for yourself, if you were to look back on this season and to evaluate your own performance, what did you learn the most about yourself as a first-time head coach?
Just keep at the job. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just do what you think is in the best interest of the team, and go to work every day, work hard, and obviously continue to try to watch other people work and glean things from them. Not think you know all the answers, but continue the learning process, because you can always learn in this business. There's always a better way to do something, and continue to look for that way.
Dutch, when your football program there plays in a bowl game, it's always discussed how important that practice time is for young players in the program. I got to think, for you who did start freshman, and I thought that you could see some of the nerves involved in Matt Mitchell, even in Jalen McDaniels, but how big is it for you in the program in itself to get those kinds of young players and others on your team, this kind of experience, make sure that you have it?
Extremely valuable. I mean, to get these young players these kind of pressure minutes as freshmen and sophomores and juniors, it's only going to bode well for the future, that they know what tough times are. They know that no matter how badly things seem to be going, there's a way to fight your way out of it. And then there's the lesson about no matter how good things are going, if you don't play your best at all times, you can fall. And so always lessons to be learned. And most of those are mental lessons. They have nothing to do with physical. It's handling the mental moments, and you can't deal with them unless you've had them. And now we've had some, and it's time to grow from them.
Coach, I know it's the job that never ends. Do you get to find yourself having a vacation or any downtime, a little mental break at least?
Not really. We've got 3 of the staff on the road today recruiting already. So we're trying to add pieces for next year, trying to pick the right ones and improve next year's Aztec team starting today.
You guys are animals. Unbelievable. Well, Coach, it was a lot of fun to watch in your first year, and we expect a lot from you next year, and we're really looking forward to cheering you on. Thank you for all the time this season. We will talk to you soon.
I want to thank you guys in particular and 1360 for all the great support this year.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Dutch.
that.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff.